curious, do you dislike Democrats?
No. As you notice, I'm wearing Democratic blue.
Thank you. You did that for me. I appreciate that. So you don't dislike them, you just don't agree with all their policies.
Correct.
Do you think that they're jumping on Obama too much, your party?
I think people give him a bad rap. I do believe that. I think they are, Democrats and Republicans expected too much out of him too soon.
Right.
And I also believe that he expected too much out of himself. There's certain things that you just, he even said himself, the way how Washington is set up is just like a big ship. You cannot turn a ship on a dime. It takes a wide turn.
Right.
So, in other words, you just can't change things in a day. And so it takes some time. So I believe that if him being who he is, he would try to accomplish that. But there's factions against him, of course.
Sure.
But
and mostly from your party. So do you think that racism still exists, Joe?
oh yes.
And have you ever been a victim of racism?
Yes. I really didn't know racism until I moved to Georgia.
Really?
Yeah.
And where are you from?
Miami, Florida.
Okay.
And in Miami, I grew up and went to school with just about all of my life with different races. And we never had racial problems as
Right.
far as getting along. Matter of fact, I even had white and Cuban girlfriends.
So Joseph, do you think that racism still exists?
Yes, I do. And I do want to, seeing that this is, we're talking about Republican and Democrats as far as racism goes, did you know that all of the lynchings, the Ku Klux Klan, the degradation of black people in this country were all committed in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, were all committed by Democrats.
No, I didn't know that.
Every governor in the Little Rock, Arkansas problems, in Little Rock, Arkansas, the governor there, he was a Democrat. When those kids were not admitted into the schools, they were, all of the governors, all of the people that was in the makeup of keeping black people from accomplishing the best that they can be, they were all Democrats, every one of them.
And also, I was surprised to find out that the Republicans had a big part to do with abolishing slavery.
Yes.
And Lincoln was a Republican.
Yes.
So do you think, so you said that you do think racism still exists. Were you ever a victim of racism?
Yes, when I didn't know racism until I came to Georgia. I was actually installing a telephone for a doctor, and I went to his house, and his wife opened the door. He was at his office, and she got him on the phone because he had two telephone numbers. One of them didn't work, the other one did. And so he asked me, do you not know that I don't allow black people in my home?
Wow.
And I said, no, but at my house, my phone works, and yours don't.
Wow.
So I'll be
What
glad
year
to
was
leave.
this?
This was in 1986.
Wow. So did you leave?
I left promptly.
And you called someone, they called someone from your office to come back out?
What happened was he got blacklisted. In other words, no one that went to work on his phone was white.
Wow. And this is when you were working where?
At AT&T.
Okay. So is there anything else that you can say about racism?
Yes, there's a lot of things that you can say, but really, racism on a personal level really means nothing. On a national level, it means a whole lot. An individual person that experiences racism, those are pretty much isolated incidences, but black people have been racially discriminated against on a national level for years and years. Not just brought over here on the slave ships,
Right.
but even in the congressional laws, the Jim Crow laws, that was what they considered something that wasn't per se written, but it was followed, but the Supreme Court backed up every word that those people said. And everything that they said, everything that they did that would discriminate against black people, the Supreme Court pretty much gave every southern state carte blanche.
And what exactly is the Jim Crow law? I know, but maybe some of our viewers don't know.
Well, Jim Crow laws, black here, white here, black bathroom, white bathroom, black water fountain, white water fountain.
Separate system.
Right in the back of the bus, if you're black. Right in the front of the bus, if you're white. Did you not know that in churches in the South, mostly Baptist churches, they built balconies in the churches so that black people had to sit in the balconies. White people sat in on the floors.
Yeah, I noticed that in the film To Kill a Mockingbird, in the courtroom, there were balconies, and the black people were in the balconies, and the white people were downstairs. So it was like that in churches and obviously in courtrooms back then.
And pretty much in all facets of our society, the segregation, the discrimination against blacks is pretty much built on the laws that was pertaining to the country. And so when you say personal discrimination, that really means nothing. But national discrimination, national segregation, national racism, yes.
Wow.
All.
Thank you so much, Joe. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate you for doing my show. And thank you for tuning into a very interesting interview with Mr. Joseph Wyche. Thank you for watching this edition of Salima Speaks. Take care and don't forget to stretch.